What a beautiful journey, truly testament to the power of art. Oh, now, let's get into it. I've been itching to ask you so many questions. The first one being, what has inspired you to get into the world of art?
I've always been a curious child, and I've always been creative while growing up. So I was so inspired when I was still in primary school, and I enjoyed doodling and sewing. So I looked out at my mom and my grandmother because they used to do all these DIY around the house. So I would just copy whatever they were doing and would make such amazing and beautiful artworks when I was still growing up.
You took it a step further with crocheting. I mean, it is something that Okoko, Nabo, Mama taught us, and you kind of echoed the same sentiments. But then why plastic?
There was a time in South Africa whereby there was a lot of pollution, plastic pollution. And we were all encouraged. So I was still in high school and primary school at the time, where we are inspired to kind of do recycling at our own homes, our own spaces, where you can reuse objects in plastics and containers. So kind of that was a culture that was built while I was growing up. And I took that even further. And because my grandmother and my mother were already crocheting and collecting plastics and cleaning them up, cutting them and making beautiful mats for their houses and placemats. So I decided, you know what, there's something bigger behind what they were doing. Once I have gone to varsity and I've learned to voice out my expressions, and I was able to go back home and basically go back to the basics, which is using plastic and recycling.
As you speak in Kutlwano, and Ayanda, I know as a KZN girl, you probably can relate. You know when the sack of oranges finishes at the house? You take the orange sack, we do not throw it away. We scrumple it up, we cut it into pieces, and we actually use it as an exfoliator in the shower or in the bath, and it truly does wonders. Or picking up that stone and using it to scrub on the heels, get that dead skin off the heels. That is what it's all about. Using what is around us every single day to elevate our living experience. We've got to be clever with this.
That's such a beautiful memory you brought up, because I'm remembering my granny even used to put a bar of soap in it, and then you're just
exfoliation.
When I look at your art, I am very much attracted to color. It makes me happy. It makes me think of home, because we have these placemats at Kaya. What message are you trying to convey as the artist that has created it?
So I'm using this medium as a tool for me to speak of my feminine experiences within my home. There is so much that I've taken note from my mother, from my grandmother. Just daily experiences of making sure that you clean your own space, that you beautify your own space, no matter how much you have or how little you have, that you can actually look at your space and make it a home for yourself, and literally using your hands.
You truly live your story matters. The fact that you're echoing it through the way that you live and the artwork that you share. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
What a beautiful testament to the importance of sharing your story through the beautiful skill that is artwork. For you at home, stay tuned, because after the break, we sit down with multi-hyphenated artist Zinga.